So anyway, hey guys, welcome to WDWNT Nerd Alert. So today we are honored to be able to participate in WDWNT's annual marathon, and this year all donations will go to the cast member Pantry. Many Disney cast members were laid off this year due to COVID, and this wonderful organization helps out those cast members that are in need. If you'd like to donate, please visit www.givingfuel.com/Pantry Marathon, or if you're watching us live on WDWN Tunes, there is a link to donate below. So I am your host, Jehovah, and joining me tonight is Jack McCarthy, our resident expert on all things Marvel.
Howdy, folks.
And Taylor Catcher, our resident DC fanboy and video game aficionado.
Hey there.
And we also have with us a special guest from the podcast Rusted Junk, Charlie Hunter.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I don't know what's
Charlie,
wrong with my video. I'm trying to sort it out. I'm never shy, so it's not that.
Anyway, Charlie, tell us about your podcast, because you kind of met us by listening to our podcast, and I've been following your podcast, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Well, the podcast pretty much was going to start as a website. I had a website to review all those forgotten 80s movies, such as Jaws 3 and Iron Eagle and films like that, basically. And then I had a word with my partner, Amanda, and she said, why don't we make it into a podcast? She said I hadn't got the face for YouTube, and until I get the camera sorted, I can't actually verify whether or not she's correct or not. But it was going to YouTube at some point. But no, we do a podcast. We've done it for just over a year now, and we've covered some great films. My inspiration, I mean, for those who haven't listened to the podcast, my inspiration was the Nerd Alert podcast, which is why I'm pretty honoured to be on here today. The structure, if you listen to my podcast and then listen to theirs, you'll see that theft is the sincerest form of flattery, because I take the format and the structure of how it works. And I'm very happy to be here today. And it's a great cause as well. I've been reading all about it. I think it's fantastic.
And again, we're really happy to have you with us. And what part of England are you from?
Royal Leamington Spa, no less. There are designated.
No less. Where is that? I only know like Manchester and London. That's about it.
Okay, well, like most people. So yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. Well, actually, if you drew a line between Manchester and London, it's somewhere in the middle. It's just a few miles south of Birmingham. So it's called the Midlands. It's called the Midlands for a reason. We're right in the middle. So. Yeah, not far, but Royal Leamington Spa. I don't know why I'm using Royal Leamington Spa. I'm just putting Royal in front of it. Everyone knows it's Leamington Spa, but yeah, it's just it's a really nice area to live in, really nice people. I think it just got voted in the top 3 happiest places to live in the UK. So, yay, go Leamington. Very
good. Leamington, wherever you are. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is... What we're going to do today is we're going to go everything we possibly can with the time that we have. I'm really excited because I put together an ultimate quiz for these guys, and this time they will all participate in individual questions pertaining to their expertise. So Jack's quiz will focus strictly on Marvel Comics, since Jack is a living encyclopedia of knowledge in regards to Marvel Comics. Taylor's will be based on the DC movies, since he is our resident DC fanboy.
Hey, there
and
he
Charlie.
is.
Oh, he's back. Awesome.
He's on.
And Charlie will be based on movies from the 80s. And the final round will have, I guess, the 2 that got the most answers right will go against each other. And I'm not going to reveal this because I don't trust these guys and I think they'll cheat. So it's going to be interesting and... It's going to be tough.
Never cheated.
You must be talking about Charlie.
I know I'm going to get a lot of... I'm going to get a lot of, that's not fair. My question was harder than his and all that stuff. So
Can we steal questions?
No, you can't steal questions. You just have your
Well,
own
you know,
category
like,
of
if
questions.
Ellen gets it wrong, can I answer to get the point? And vice
Yeah,
No, you
same with
can't.
Jack.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You can't. All right. Just we're not even there yet, but just follow the rules. All right. Anyway, let's get into the news first. And unfortunately, we have some sad news to talk about. David Prowse, the actor who played Darth Vader in the original trilogy, has passed away at the age of 85. I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
Yeah,
was
I
it?
just saw a
heard
post.
Yeah. It's very sad because
Yeah.
in the UK, he was also known as the Green Cross Man. So the Green Cross
Yeah.
Code Man. That's how we all knew him. So he basically did a series of adverts. He was brilliant. He basically did a series of adverts whereby he would just teach kids how to cross the road and what to look for, and he was the Green Cross Code Man as well as Darth Vader. So yeah, it's very sad because the phrase gets bandied around, gentle giant. Probably maybe not right every time, but in Dave Prowse's example, it definitely fit. He was just such a lovely guy, and he'll be missed by a lot of people.
Did any of you guys ever meet him?
No.
No,
Jack?
fortunately not.
I did. I actually met him at MegaCon several years ago, and he was a big guy. I think, what was he, like about 6'7"? He's pretty tall.
Yeah, he's very tall.
Very intimidating, but... Were you saying, Taylor?
No, it just reminds me, I met the guy that plays Jaws in James Bond.
Oh, Robert Keel? Richard
Yeah,
Keel.
also giant human. He did the hands around my face thing where like it's just like he could palm my head. It's crazy. Anyway, another
Really?
gentle giant.
He did. He did. He put his hands
For a
around your
picture.
face. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was
great.
watching Happy Gilmore recently. He was in that.
Yeah,
Richard
that's
Keel?
Happy's jacket.
So, I mean, he was so messed up, like with his legs, that he had to lean on somebody during the whole movie, or he had to be next to a railing. Like he had like a problem with his equilibrium and his balance, because I guess it's not easy being that tall, for anybody.
Right.
Anyway, I met him a couple of years ago at MegaCon, and he was very intimidating. I was afraid of him. He really didn't smile and all that stuff. He just was signing autographs. He was sitting next to Lou Ferrigno, which I thought was kind of interesting. They both were kind of scary, really. But yeah, I felt bad for him too, because that was his life. What?
I did meet Lou Ferrigno. He was a very nice guy. I met him at a Comic-Con.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't find him scary at all. A very nice guy.
Well, he wasn't happy when I saw him. I guess like he was. They rely like on selling autographs and taking pictures and stuff like that. So I guess like at some point they just had it during the day, and you just don't want to mess with them.
Okay.
But
can I ask a question about Comic-Con while we're here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been to a Comic-Con here, but it was a localized one. It was the Welsh one, so it was one in Wales, and it was great. But in order to meet people, you had to like sign up ahead of time. You had to then go in a pre-arranged queue, and then you had to go into a marquee. But every time I see a Comic-Con portrayed in films over there, like Jay and Silent Bob or something like that, everyone's always at a table, and it's just a line to get to people. What's it actually like?
So it depends. Like at a smaller convention, like actually no, just conventions, they're all different, but I would say like a smaller convention, like a local city convention, it depends on how big the person is. Like I would say that most of the time, if they are a comic book artist or something like that, like seeing Neil Adams or someone like that, they'll have their own booth and they could be there. Stuff like that. As far as the seeing people sign, like Joe's talking about, the way MegaCon is set up is kind of like the autograph part of it is you can kind of just pick and choose, and like they're kind of all in a booth together across like an area, and the same thing kind of happens at other Comic-Cons but for pictures it's very similar to what you're talking about, where there's like it's almost like they're hidden away behind like a bunch of like fake walls, and like you have to pay to get to that point. However, San Diego Comic-Con, the big one, right, which is probably something closer to what you would see in Jay and Silent Bob, the way they do that is way cooler, except it's wild. So like all of the casts are on the show floor, but like they're like maybe 10 feet from where you could possibly get them unless you get the ticket to get in to actually get them to sign. But everyone's like sardined like in the halls of the hall, of the convention center, seeing them. You're like, you can take a picture of them. They're like right there, but you're not allowed to get the autograph because you didn't get the pre-sign up. But that was what I thought was the coolest part about San Diego Comic-Con is all the big stars of all the shows are actually, you can see them. I ran into Sam Witwer just walking to another part of the hall, and I was like, hey, can I get a picture with you? He's like, walk with me. So like took a selfie like we were walking, but like he had to go somewhere. But the celebrities are just out and about, which makes it that's why it's a different experience. Like the San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con similar because like they build these giant like booths that are like fancy and stuff with giant screens, and like you could see the casts, and like they have the live talks and stuff. It's really great.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it's not necessarily as fun as you would think, as like what they make it into the movies. A lot of times it's very crowded. I know I had issues with the Walking Dead fans. They all gathered together. I think there was like at least 100 of them, and they would just walk to a drum, and it was just so annoying because you couldn't get through different aisles and all that. I mean, it's fun, but it's very money based too. It's gotten a lot stricter. Like you just can't take a picture from a distance, like of a person that's at a booth. Security will jump on you.
I think that's it. More of the local stuff, though. At San Diego, they don't care because it's impossible to. It's just different. The way, like I said, the way it's set up is so different. Go ahead, Jack.
How was your experience?
Now they're all on the side.
Oh, well, that's cool. Anyway, getting back to David Prowse, I remember him in Clockwork Orange. That's like one of the reasons I would watch that movie is just to kind of see him, because you would see him without the helmet, because normally you don't see him in movies. And prior to that, he would be in the British Hammer movies, where he'd play Frankenstein, and I think even the werewolf or something like that. But I also knew he trained Christopher Reeve to bulk up for Superman. Like he was hired because he was a bodybuilder and he was a big guy. And what's that?
Yeah, I remember you saying that on the podcast. Yeah.
Yes, I thought that was pretty cool. But what's kind of sad about all of this is that Lucasfilm really treated him like crap throughout the years. They banned him from all Star Wars conventions, especially Celebration. Any official Star Wars conventions he was banned from, just because they think he leaked the ending of Return of the Jedi. And I remember reading this. He was in an interview, and some interviewer had asked him, I heard that Darth Vader dies in this one. Is it true? And then he said, Darth Vader dies. And then like they posted, it's like, Darth Vader says, Darth Vader dies, But he was kind of like manipulated into saying something like that. And Lucas like held it against him like for years and years. He still has. And I just felt really sad because he was iconic. I mean, without him, we wouldn't have Darth Vader. Even like when Hayden Christensen was in the costume during Revenge of the Sith, I didn't get the same feeling because I knew he wasn't in there. And the same thing with Rogue One. It was a different actor portraying him. It just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah. But as you say, he will be missed.
Yeah, he will be, Anyway, so let's get into TV first. I guess what we're going to do is we'll go through TV, movies, comics, and all that. So TV, we got to talk about The Mandalorian Season 2 and the latest episode, which was called The Jedi. I can see Taylor's face. It's like he's got the Joker's grin on his face right now.
Oh, man.
So, all right, we'll start with you, Taylor. What did you think of the episode?
So, now, they keep outdoing themselves with these episodes. Like, this was, it was perfect. It was, Ahsoka Tano, it was awesome. It was a Kurosawa samurai film. It had a little bit of the Western vibes. They had, Colonel Hicks / Kyle Reese as the
Yeah.
the guy that was like the right hand man to the evil empress, I guess, kind of character, and she's the goddaughter of Bruce Lee, which is also cool.
Really? I didn't know
Because
that.
her father or grandfather was one of the trainers / other martial artists that worked very closely with Bruce Lee. So she truly was trained by a master, which I thought was funny when she said that. The fact that they're bringing Thrawn into this whole thing is blowing my mind, because that's just going to tie into are we going to see Ezra at the end of this? That's where they're going. It feels like we've seen so many Lothcats that it really was alluding to Ezra in the first place, because he's from Loth something, wherever those cats are from. And it just feels like they're building towards something so Rebels and so Clone Wars based. It's blowing my mind. And I think that Rosario Dawson blew it away as Ahsoka Tano. And she really also felt like she was doing a really good, not impression, but it did feel like the same character as far as her voice and cadence and stuff from Ashley. Is her name Ashley? Eckstein. Yes.
Eckstein.
It felt like she was definitely doing the felt like she was being Ahsoka Tano. It was great.
What about you, Jack? Would you rate it? What would you rate it?
10 out of 10.
Kind of guess.
Come on. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
What about you, Jack? What'd you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great. And I'll echo the 10 out of 10. I thought from start to finish, they've been hitting it out of the park with The Mandalorian. And to see Ahsoka Tano on screen was just great. And Rosario Dawson did a good job as her. I mean, she even had kind of those softer moments with the child that you really saw Ahsoka in that. Because she could always on the show go from being, mad and the warrior Jedi to those little quieter moments. And I thought Rosario Dawson did a great job on it. I liked the story on it. I liked how they had the showdown, the two ladies behind the wall, and the standoff between the gunslingers right on the other side of the wall. I thought the whole episode was just great.
Do you think that was your favorite one now?
I would say yes. Followed closely by the season 2 premiere. I thought that was a great episode too. That was another 10 out of 10 for me.
All right, Charlie, let's hear from you.
Okay. Ooh. Well, I'm not spoiling the party, but it's 9 out of 10. And
Come on.
Well, I'm not in my eventual breakfast club. Don't worry. That's all water under the bridge now. It's fine. But first of all, as soon as I saw it's going to be called The Jedi, I thought we're not going to get into this position where they teased Ahsoka Tano, and by the way, she's going to make an appearance the final scene of season 2. We actually get Ahsoka Tano. Brilliant. Fantastic. First person I thought about was you, Taylor, because I know that you're our biggest fan. The Mandalorian is pretty much a love letter. I mean, you and I have talked about this, Joe, separately, but it is a love letter to Star Wars fans. It is beautifully made by people who genuinely care about it. The attention to detail is absolutely wonderful. However, the thing that I have about season 2 is pretty much the same sort of issue that I had with Rise of Skywalker, and that was, we need to go from here to there, but we can't just go from here to there because we have to go up here, we have to go over there, we have to go back down here, we have to go up, and it almost seemed to be like a bit of a chase for, the MacGuffin, the thing. There's a reason why it can't happen, and a reason why you can't get there. Having said that, I think that this episode just drew any sort of concerns that I had about season 2 and where it was heading, and just made me giddy, like the kid that came out of Star Wars watching it for the first time when I was 5. And I guess I just felt, that this is back on track. Well, not that it wasn't off track, but it was just incredible. And the things we've got coming, it's almost like, we don't deserve it. It's just going to be so good. So yeah.
All right.
Oh, let's just say 10. Do you know what? Let's just say 10. Let's have 3. Okay.
All right.
All right, let's give Joe a chance to bring us down, bring our
Here
rating
we
down.
go.
So
I could not disagree with you guys more.
get out of here.
I was joking.
No, I'm kidding around. I loved it. I actually loved it.
All right.
I will give it a 9 out of 10, but that's like a 10 out of 10 for me.
That's a
All
pretty
right.
high praise.
So I agree mostly
Joe
with what you
doesn't
guys
go like
said.
that. He'll go that high.
Rosaria Dawson was the perfect pick. Like when I first heard she was picked, I was pretty happy because I always pictured her like what she could look like as Ahsoka Tano, and they nailed it. And you know, it's like sometimes like a person will take liberties with the character, like they'll make them a little different as opposed to the animated character. But I guess because Dave Filoni was directing this and writing it, you know, he made it as close as possible to the animated character, and it worked. It looked perfect. I did feel a little bad for Ashley XD, and I couldn't help but not think of her. But like you guys had said, she kind of gave like a little bit of honor towards her in her performance. You definitely can see she was influenced by Ashley. She definitely watched the cartoon. It's not like an actor that'll sometimes go, I'm doing my own version of Ahsoka Tano. I don't want to be influenced by anybody else. She knew what she was about, so I was kind of happy about that. This actually reminded me of Kill Bill when,
Oh, for sure.
you know, when the bride goes against the crazy 88, when she's going, you know, and also when she goes against the lead empress and all that stuff at that point. It so reminded me of Kill Bill. And I love that scene in Kill Bill. So I think that was a little bit of an homage to that. And like you guys said, well, go ahead.
Kill Bill is an homage to Kurosawa, so like it's all related, right? So the Kurosawa, those Japanese samurai films, is what Kill Bill was based off of, and then so this looks like that because they're both homage to the same original thing.
Yeah, but this was also, you know, it was two women fighting against each other. You know, like they
Fair.
had like Lucy Liu going against Uma Thurman and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, again, I liked it. I thought it was filmed beautifully. I liked that they kind of incorporated that like Japanese lore or element in the land that they were in. And she was just kick ass with the dual lightsabers, with the two lightsabers. Woo!
Yeah,
That was just
and
fantastic.
she even had the one that was smaller. It's great.
I didn't notice that, but I'm sure she probably does. I mean, I take your word for it.
Well, I mean, tell you when she went sideways on it, like she does in the cartoon, I was like, yes! Like I was just so excited. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No, that I can't disagree with you there. It was fantastic. I mean, I would love to see that battle over and over again. It was very well done. I was kind of sad to see Michael Biehn, you know, who was in Terminator and Aliens, and he was in Tombstone too. That he just they killed him at the end. I always feel like he deserves better roles than what he's gotten, and it's kind of sad to see that he was a one-off character. But no, I mean, this kind of brought me back. The first 4 episodes, to me, like what Charlie said, they were on this mission. It was like a video game. It's like you go from point A to point B, you meet somebody, and they give you a key, but you got to go to point C, and then you get to point C, and they're like, oh no, you got to go back to point A, you know, and all that stuff. It just felt like, and they give you like cliffhangers, like, oh well, there's Boba Fett, or they just mentioned Ahsoka Tano and stuff like that. That they keep you coming back, like where you, like at the very end, you would go, oh, even though at times you could fall asleep, you know, during some of those episodes. I personally could. You know, like I think the middle 2 episodes were not that great for me. Yeah. Got
You're
a
a
problem with
Bo-Katan
that?
hater.
Watching it, I'm on the edge of my seat through it.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No, I was.
I'm thinking this. This is awesome.
And like I said with Taylor last week, the one consistent thing that is great is Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. He just nails that character, and that's why, in a way, I know a lot of people love Baby Yoda and all that stuff. I feel like Baby Yoda takes away from what the Mandalorian could be. You know, Baby Yoda, he's very cute, and But for me, he's kind of annoying too, because I feel like I am still confused by him. Because now it was revealed basically that he was trained by the Jedi at the temple, right?
Well, he's 50. He's the same age as Anakin Skywalker. Like we've talked
All right,
about
so
that.
say he
like
was-
he's exactly the same age.
Was he in Coruscant? Was that where he was trained?
He was trained at the Jedi Temple. He just didn't get murdered by Anakin.
So
Yeah,
Yoda
he
knew.
He
of
somehow
him.
escaped.
So Yoda knew
sure.
of him.
Like
Do you
100% at
think
this
that
point.
could
Like
be
we'd have to.
Yoda's kid? Could that be Yoda's kid?
Could be Yaddle's kid. You know, we don't know.
It could be both their kids. Both
Could
their
be.
kids.
Bum, bum.
Yeah.
Loving the
Could
Jedi
be.
Temple.
You guys remember the part in this episode, or it's one of my favorite parts, with the guy with the little like tracker beam, just like in one of the in the original trilogy that tracks like the ships on Yavin
Oh, yeah.
4. There was a little guy that did that same thing. I was just like, so that's the kind of stuff that Filoni and Favreau are putting into this that really makes it feel super authentic to the original trilogy and to Star Wars. Is like it's those little touches that you wouldn't see in a J.J. Abrams version, but you're gonna see. It's like. It always reminds me of that. Was it the Family Guy that they did? Pew pew, gotcha. When he had the little thing, it was just real great. I just thought that part right there just really just solidifies all of it in such a great way, and feels
Good,
in
like-
universe.
What were you saying, Charlie?
No, I was just going to say, do you know what this does? What they've done with the Mandalorian? I guess we were all sort of wondering, if it would work or if it wouldn't, and it works perfectly. I mean, it's wonderful. It gives me a lot of hope for and I know I'm going to make myself unpopular with you guys. It's fine. It gives me hope for the Cassian Andor series because I loved his character in Rogue One. And I know you don't.
What?
I loved the character. The character, he's. I think there's a lot there to be explored. And it gives me a lot of hope that if they do this with the Mandalorian, they'll take the same care and attention for the Cassian Andor series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I know that you all disagreed that there should be a Cassian Andor series. Was that right? Did I hear that right or not? On the previous.
I mean, as much as
Well,
I
I just- I
disagree that
never
there
liked
shouldn't
the
have been a
character.
solo movie.
Yeah, it's like
Sorry,
they
we'll
could have
talk over
done
each other,
something.
but
I'm sorry. No, I agree with Taylor. We'll just say that much. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think of the name Grogu for him?
every
Baby
time he
Yoda.
said it, and the little and baby and Grogu looked up, I can't believe they did it so many times and I enjoyed it every time when they're like Grogu, and he's like, huh? Like every time, it was perfect. I mean, it's a Star Warsy name. I mean,
guess
Yoda
we'll
would have
get
sounded
used to
weird
it.
before we knew who Yoda
true.
was, or Jabba the Hutt. I mean, like just like the names are kind of silly when you like try to separate yourself from like knowing them for what 30
They got me,
30 years.
Yeah, it got me concerned about what they do for Christmas toys because he's known as Baby Yoda, he's known as the Youngling, he's whatever. Now he's got a name. If he gets marketed as that now, that you can have your own Grogu doll, right? Does it spoil the people who haven't watched Mandalorian?
I mean, you should be watching The Mandalorian.
True.
And it's one of those things, I guess. If you're not watching it by now, you're not going to watch it.
I'm sure
Yeah.
most people are watching it though.
Also,
Um,
his name doesn't. It's not like a spoiler, really. Like they finally named him, which
No.
was great. You're like, oh, he has a name, but like I don't think that if someone even in the beginning was like, this is Grogu, he's a Yoda, and you're like, okay, great, all right, cool.
But it comes to the conclusion. I think it's obvious, and we've said this before. He's never gonna leave the Mandalorian. He's gonna be with him for the next 3 or 4 seasons.
Unless they're making an Ezra Jedi Master with his Padawan Grogu, like spin-off series that's gonna start at the end of this. We don't even know. But I did want to do a point towards Charlie, saying he's excited about the series. I think so far we can say that Star Wars is almost a better TV medium than it is in movies. Like overall, like with Rebels and with Clone Wars and with The Mandalorian, I'm more excited about any more Star Wars series that are going to come out because it seems like they're better at telling those Star Wars stories in the, episodic format that kind of was the birth of Star Wars in the first place, right? It was serial comics. And so, it feels more genuine and like it gives you more time in that. Like obviously he made them episodic, but they were films, right? In the first place. So I just think that it really, any more Star Wars series I'm excited about, because of the care and everything that's happening in this. So I agree with Charlie there that I'm more excited about the Cassian series, and anytime I can get more Alan Tudyk, really, the better. So if there's more K2SO, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure.
It's also they're really keeping their production values up. I mean, when you look at the alien work on them, the Quarrens looked fantastic. The Mon Calamal looked great. Even the Trandoshans, even though we thought they should look more lizardy, it's top quality production values on this. And I think that's also what is adding to it. If we were watching the show and they were cutting down on sets and makeup and ship designs and all that, we'd all kind of be, I think, a lot more on the fence about it. But the way they've been delivering has been phenomenal, and they've been doing such a great job on it. Plus, let's face it, with Star Wars in a existing world-building environment, Quarrens could be anywhere, Trandoshans could be anywhere, so they could keep reusing a lot of this makeups and prosthetics, all of that stuff, all over the place for numerous seasons. So they're really doing just such a great job. And it's surprising how well they're doing for TV. You would almost expect to see, one thing they always used to make fun of Star Trek was, oh, this person's an alien because they got a little thing on their nose, or they got a pointed ear. This is going well beyond anything that we've seen on TV science fiction before. Even for Charlie, Doctor Who. Doctor Who has some great alien designs, but this is just going well past it. So I think that's also added to the appeal for Star Wars fans.
Well said, Jack McCarthy.
I have spoken.
I have spoken. All right, let's move on to Clone Wars Season 7. I think we all saw that, right? Nodding heads. It's funny because I remember the... You didn't see it, Charlie? All right, we'll just listen.
Okay. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the Clone Wars, I haven't seen Rebels.
You should know.
Taylor might just pass out now. I don't know.
I remember the first arc was...
Why do you talk about Clone Wars? Try to see if I'll fix my picture.
Okay. I remember the first arc was the Bad Batch, and the second one was Ahsoka met Patty and Selma. What was the third one?
Third one was concurrent with Return of the Sith, or Revenge of the Sith. Right. It was like taking place while Revenge of the Sith was taking place, which is why someone made that awesome edit. Yeah, it was why someone made that awesome edit where you can watch the cartoon and the movie, and it flips back and forth between them because they're happening at the same time. And the fakest parts are the live action parts. They feel like they look the most green screened because they are, but it's kind of funny that the live action stuff looks worse.
So I'm assuming you did watch it that way.
Yeah, I watched it regular, and then I watched it in the 4-hour Revenge of the Sith cut.
Wow. So what'd you think of Season 7, Jack?
Season 7, it had some slow points. I have to say I liked what did you call them? The Stormtrooper bunch?
The Bad Batch?
Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. I like that storyline. The middle episodes with Ahsoka meeting her friends there, that was a little slow, but I can kind of see how they did it because they wanted to show what her life was after she left the temple. But Charlie, gotta watch the last few episodes when she's
right at the beginning.
And the battle she has with Darth Maul, I think, was one of the best lightsaber fights we've seen in all of Star Wars. It
I forgot
was
about
wild.
that.
Wow.
Huh?
Okay.
Did we ever talk about it that, like, the scene where she fights him in the throne room, they actually got Ray Park to do the motion capture, and he moved so fast it was hard to animate. Like he was
No.
moving so Ray Park did similar to how in Solo, a Star Wars story, they had Ray Park's body with Sam Witwer's voice. This was like reverse. It was like the animated version of that, where they had Ray Park do all the actual martial arts, but he moved faster than they've ever had to animate a lightsaber battle, and then so they had to motion capture him, and then they also had Sam Witwer's voice again. But I just thought that was fascinating that they got Ray Park for that to do the martial
I didn't know
arts.
that. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And moving on real quick, we all watched The Boys season 2, and I think we all kind of like that, and we want to see more about that. Who your favorite character would you say in The Boys season 2? Jack?
I'd have to say Yui and Starlight. The two of them together, I think that's a good pairing. I liked that storyline between them, kind of on, off, on, off. I thought they did a good job of that without making it too rom-com-ish, I guess is the word.
Mm-hmm.
It was realistic, that kind of relationship, it seemed, between them. So I liked them the most in that kind of storyline thread. And Anna Cash I thought she was great as well. She plays such a good villain and such a good mean, sarcastic person. So
Was that Stormfront?
Stormfront. I thought she was very good too.
What about you, Taylor?
Frenchie is my favorite.
Oh, Frenchie's cool too.
For sure. So
they're all very good. It's hard to pick.
And I enjoyed the arc of the Deep as well. I thought that was very fun to watch at all times.
Yeah. Charlie?
Billy Butcher. Man, he takes swearing to the next level. I mean, it's like, oh wow.
Don't do it on here.
No. But yeah, he just when you're watching the first episode of like you're watching the first couple of episodes, you suddenly realise that this guy isn't a complex character. He's just pretty much out for revenge. That's what it is, and his emotions and his passion. Just, I think he's just a great character. I think he's just really well portrayed. I am waiting for Homelander to get his behind kicked, because that's you pretty much looking for that. And when you had Stormfront meeting her end, or does she? Then I think it's just great. It's a well-made program that for me just came out of nowhere. I know it was a comic book. I know it was a series of comic books beforehand, but it just came out of nowhere and just went wow. And for Amazon Prime to make a series like that, just not that they needed being put on the map, but put them on the map and then said, right, you now need to up the game. If you're going to make, a series of this quality. I mean, Netflix pour loads of money into what they do. Disney pour loads of money into what they do, and Amazon Prime do as well. But you look at the quality of the things that are coming out. I think they're all pretty much playing on a nice level playing field now, and that can only benefit the watcher. It can only benefit the viewer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with the production values. Like, anytime you see Homelander take off and fly, it's like beats the stuff that we see in like the DC universe with Superman at times. They do such a great job. I would say I do like Homelander because he's so bad. He's kind of like Darth Vader. It's like you really need a good villain. And if you don't have a good villain, it doesn't make the series look very good. But there's multiple villains too. And that's the part that I like about it too. It's like sometimes I kind of poo-poo too much diverse casting and stuff like that at times. But it works. The diversity works because what it does is it puts everybody in an equal playing field where you can have anyone could be good, anyone can be bad, and you're never going to know until the very end. And also, they just kill major characters at the drop of a hat. You have no idea that this person's going to die, and then boom, they're gone. So I totally love this series. I look forward to season 3. But I would say my favorite character is the Asian girl, because I never know what she's going to do. I never know what she's thinking. And I just love her. I always watch her in the background because I just think she's going to snap at some point. But it's a very well-made series, and I would love if Marvel or Star Wars gave them a chance just to do something on their own, to see what they could do. Like, almost, let's see what a hard R Marvel movie or a hard R Star Wars movies would look like. It would be different. It might not be for kids. It might not attract like the family audience. Go ahead. What were you saying, Taylor?
Wouldn't it be Deadpool? Like, we have that.
Yeah, in a way, but still, maybe they could use different characters.
Logan, also hard
yeah,
R.
I was just going to say, well, but I would like to see what they could do with Wolverine. I think they would do something special with him, myself. Like the Berserker Wolverine, which we really never saw.
Snick.
Anywho. So you guys, do you have high hopes for the Disney Plus Marvel series? Like, we have WandaVision, we have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Moon Knight. Is there any series that you're looking forward to more than the others? Like what's your most look forward to series, your least look forward to series? I guess, Charlie, we'll start with you.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh.
Hold on one sec, guys. I want to apologize because while I'm watching this, you guys are in sync with your voices and the video. I have like a 2-second delay. So that's why it seems like I'm kind of talking over to you, because I'm trying to jump in when there's a pause. But after those couple of seconds, somebody else has already started speaking.
I think we all have that, So we're all aware.
Yeah, we're all
of it.
dealing with that.
Oh, okay, because when I'm watching it, you guys are all completely in sync between video and voices. I'm off. So, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're used to it.
I don't want to upset anybody that I'm interrupting them. So.
No, I apologise for the webcam from the late 90s. Sorry. There's probably one setting on here that I'm missing that goes and then just changes it to HD. But I can't see it for the life of me. And otherwise, Jack, I just communicate you because I play with effects that suddenly come in at the bottom. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it alone. At least you can see part of me. But yeah, sorry. Anyway,
I interrupted you now.
Oh, definitely. I guess I just don't know enough about WandaVision, apart from what we've all seen, that I probably am excited for it, but I can't say that I'm generating more enthusiasm than I have for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, 'cause the Winter Soldier for me is just a great, great character. It's just, Bucky's just wonderful. But yeah, so to see that carry on and to see the continuing adventures, absolutely, 100%.
Jack?
I don't, like you were saying, Charlie, there's some things I don't know enough about. I don't know enough about this WandaVision thing. It looks weird as heck. I have no idea what's going to happen with it. I am excited that they announced Moon Knight, because I like Moon Knight, and I think that could work out very well on a television run. I just hope they don't go into that schizoid, multiple personality Moon Knight. I hope they go, he's kind of more like a cross between Daredevil and the Punisher. I think that would be pretty cool. And I've always liked the design of the Moon Knight costume. I've always thought he was cool.
Me too.
Back when he first showed up in Werewolf by Night back in the 70s. It's just a cool look. So I'm looking forward to that. Falcon and Winter Soldier. I guess I need to see more on how they're going to handle Sam as Captain America. Because I always thought if anybody picked up the shield, it should have been Bucky.
Yeah.
Sam as a character, as the Falcon, he's a hero in his own right, and he's a cool hero. I actually like the MCU version of the Falcon better than the Falcon in the comics. And I like the Falcon in the comics. He's pretty cool. I don't think they need to make him the Captain America. I would have rather seen Bucky get the shield, but that doesn't matter now because Sam's got the shield. So I kind of want to see what they're going to do with that. I am excited that they're going to bring Baron Zemo back. So you've got potentially a very good villain right there, and a master manipulator. So who knows what he's going to pull this time around. So I think it'll be good, but I'm really looking forward to Moon Knight.
And Taylor?
So I think actually, Jack, on your point about Cap and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think it's going to be Falcon earning the title of Captain America, because I think Joe has told us that there's something to do with U.S. Agent and stuff like that, and like there's that guy, he was Captain America for a while from the government standpoint, and so I think it's going to be more of them showing why Sam Wilson should be Captain America, like he was in the comics, so that we all feel like he earns the shield in that way, and I think that'd be really cool to watch. If like by the end of that series you're like, wow, Sam is Captain America, I think they would do a good job that way, and I think more people would be understanding. But as far as the series I'm looking forward to the most, it's WandaVision for me. And I know that's like the opposite of everybody else, but I think that Twin Peaksy, like spooky vibe with a like alternative history, like mind-breaking Wanda sounds like really, really interesting. And I'm excited about Moon Knight as well because I like the character, but I'm worried about how you can have such a dark, gritty character on Disney Plus. I think that's my worry with Moon Knight, is like they're going to have to tone it down, which doesn't feel like Moon Knight, but also we haven't seen them do one of these Marvel shows yet, so we don't know if it's like Mandalorian level. It'll be like, well, anything they do is going to be great because this was so great, or if it's, we don't know because we haven't seen anything yet. But I would say that WandaVision, number one. Of course, I'm excited about Captain Winter Soldier. Of course, I'm excited about Loki. But I would say that it's WandaVision and Moon Knight are my top two.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'm really not looking forward to anything. I would say maybe She-Hulk.
Oh, I forgot about She-Hulk. Yes.
And Moon Knight. It's still not official. She says it's not officially confirmed, that girl. I can't remember the actress's name, but
Anna Maisley.
It's possible. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I'm with Jack with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's Falcon. My biggest problem with him is that he's going to be a hybrid of Captain America and the Falcon. So he's going to be flying around, and he's going to have the Falcon costume, but he's just basically going to have the shield. Maybe he'll have some red, white, and blue colors and all that stuff, but that's not Captain America. And I would rather see Bucky get the shield because that's how it happened first in the comics. But there's no Captain America like Steve Rogers, so it's still going to be a problem, I think, for most people. But it could be an interesting story. Like if, like we were saying, U.S. Agent might be recruited to be Captain America by the government, and like Taylor was saying, that the Falcon has to prove his worthiness, or maybe the U.S. Agent kind of goes off on a tangent and goes crazy, and Falcon has to take him down along with the Winter Soldier. He might get it at the end of the series. But I don't know. I'm just like, all these characters, I'm just really not interested in. They're like the characters that I watch in the Marvel movies that I couldn't care less about. Who gives a damn, about them? That's why, give them their own series. It's probably easy to get them. It's not like they're being begged to do work otherwhere. So
I don't know. They're pretty high-profile actors for the most part. But I think that it's also like, how can you learn to like a character unless you have more time with them? And I think that that's how I've learned to like a lot of characters in comic books, right? Is you read the the group book because you're like, oh, I like, Superman and Batman. And you're like, well, this Green Lantern guy seems pretty interesting. I wonder what he's about. He's kind of lame in this book, but I wonder. And then you read his stuff and you're like, whoa, man, Green Lantern is awesome. So I don't know what I was thinking, or even like vibe. Like if you go like really minor characters, and you're like, wow, Cisco Romero's cool in the show. I wonder how the comic book character is. And then you read some of the stuff, you're like, wow, this character is super neat. And I think that this is maybe giving us a chance to like those characters more, where we would normally be, like you said, like, they're all right. Like, they're not Captain America. They're not, Iron Man. But I think this will give us that chance. And I also forgot about, aren't they doing a show?
Hawkeye.
I forgot already, but Hawkeye, that's what I was thinking of. I was like, another character where the comic book character is way cooler than the movie character ever was. And just the Kate Bishop, if they do a pizza dog, I'm in, So we'll see.
I'm waiting for the TV series.
Which one?
Which series?
I'm waiting for them to actually even think about making it. I want a Howard the Duck TV series.
Oh boy!
Oh no, that's never going to happen. But Howard the Duck might be in She-Hulk. He's a character that does cross over with She-Hulk a lot, so they might throw Howard in there.
So yeah, Howard the Duck was there. Okay. So I think Howard's time is coming. It's definitely going to be one of the things we're going to do on Lusty Junk. I lose out. I've got our season 3. This is not a shameless plug, although it is. Our season 3 is all about action. So all of the things that I wanted to do, like Jaws 3, like Howard the Duck, have all been pushed to season 4. And the only reason they get pushed is because she goes, I don't want to watch them. And I'm like, that's not the purpose of how it should work. So yes, a Howard the Duck TV show. Thank you.
We'll see about that. But it's Disney. Don't count them out for anything. You know what? We're at the halfway mark, so let's get into the quiz because I've been really excited about this. So I want to see how you guys do with this. So this is the ultimate quiz. And like I said, all these questions are going to pertain to their expertise. So what I'm going to do is actually put this in order. So I'll have Taylor go first, then Charlie, then Jack. All right. So I'm going to ask you the questions. So the good thing is, again, is it's pertaining to your expertise, and you guys are very good at what you're good at. You're like Wolverine.
I think Joe's going to try to make us look like dummies. He's going to give us the hardest questions in our categories, and we're just going to be like, I don't know. And then everyone that's watching this is going to be like, these guys don't know anything about these things. This guy said he was going to.
It's not going to be a cakewalk. I'll just say that much.
What kind of blaster did Han Solo use?
DL-44. Come on, give us a harder one.
But the good... All right, I got some good news, though. It's multiple choice.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
does that make you happy?
Phone a friend 50-50?
Oh, I didn't hear that. What was that?
It's multiple choice. So you guys have a chance.
Millionaire. 50-50 or
all right, let's
phone a friend?
No.
Yeah, can we tag in one of the other guys? Like, can I
No,
tag
you
in,
cannot.
Charlie, if I need his help?
Hello, Taylor.
Yes,
No.
What was the guy who won the ring first?
Yep, that's
No
it, Jack.
clue. Just answer your own questions. Don't cheat. Don't give clues to the other guys. Well, you guys can answer, I guess, afterwards. But for right now, let's start with Taylor, okay? You ready, Taylor?
I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, don't nod your head. It's audio, too. No, I heard you say
I said I was
I'm
ready.
I was a little delayed. Okay. All right, here we go. Which New York newspaper building and lobby stood in for the Daily Planet in Superman? Was it A, the New York Post, B, the New York Daily News, C, the New York Times, or D, the Wall Street Journal?
The one that Jack worked in is my answer. The Daily News, I guess. Let's go with that.
That is correct, Taylor. I got to record who got what right. So yeah, it was like the one that Jack worked in. Yeah, no.
That's accurate though, right?
It's beautiful lobby. You walk in, they have the globe right there, and especially Christmas time, you have the world there, the huge globe, and it's surrounded by Christmas trees. It's really a beautiful lobby. So if you're in New York, on 42nd and 3rd, stop by.
Tell him Jack sent you.
All right, Charlie, this next one's for you. In The Breakfast Club, what is the name of the shop on the bag that Andrew keeps his lunch in? Is it A, Happy Foods, B, Hungry Town, C, Food Shopper, or D, Valley Eats?
That's good. That's a good question.
He stumped. I love it.
What was B?
B was Hungry Town.
Seems too obvious. I'm going to put my mind in. Yeah, I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to go with that one. B.
I'm sorry, Charlie. You're wrong. It was Happy Foods. See, now I love this because now when you watch that movie and you love that movie.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, I love it. No soup for you, Charlie. So, Jack, Marvel Comics owned the rights to which word from 1975 until 1996? Was it A, mutant, B, panther, C, zombie, or D, laser?
That's a good question.
What are they again?
A, mutant, B, panther, C, zombie, or D, laser? I can't believe I'm stumping you. Oh, my God.
I
This
thought
is
you
a
were going to
wild
say
question.
Hulk, and that's what I was thinking. I'll say mutant.
That's what I would have said.
I can't believe it. Jack, you're wrong. It's actually zombie. They had the rights to the word zombie from 1975 until 1996.
Wow.
Really?
Joe, you know when you do a quiz, you kind of like ease people into it before you get to like the $1 million question.
I'm
Well,
worried
it's all
these
over the place.
These are the Ethan 2 questions. Okay.
So it's multiple choice. I'm giving you a chance.
I didn't think you could copyright a regular word because I remember there was always a big fight between Marvel with the word Hulk and the wrestler Hulk Hogan.
Well, why?
they
The
always
Hulk was
went after.
before that. You're saying Hulk Hogan had a problem.
But Hulk is an actual word from dictionary. So
Okay.
Hulk Hogan's claim was you can't trademark a word in and of itself. You might be able to trademark the way it's written as a logo or something, but you couldn't trademark the word itself. So I was expecting Hulk to be on your list, but it wasn't. I don't know.
Well, I like your analogy, but you're still not getting it right.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, Taylor. In Superman Returns, what does Lex Luthor name the landmass off the coast of Metropolis that he created with the crystals from the Fortress of Solitude?
Oof.
Was
okay.
it
I'm ready.
A, Vista Deluxe, B, New Metropolis, C, New Krypton, or D, Lextopia?
Lextopia?
No, it was New Krypton.
No, really? Lex named it New Krypton?
Well, it was.
I never would have expected that.
Well, that's.
I know. I mean,
watch the movie.
Okay. Well, I don't like to watch bad movies all the time, so.
That wasn't a bad movie. That was a decent movie. I liked it.
It's fine. It was fine.
All right, we'll stick with the quiz. All right, Charlie. You ready, Charlie?
Yep.
In Ghostbusters, what is Dana's surname? Is it A, Stenmore, B, Watkins, C, Andrews, or D, Barrett?
Barrett.
That is correct, Charlie. You get a point there. I can kind of tell Taylor knew that one.
Nobody would listen to the podcast. They'd go, why would we listen to this guy who knows nothing about 80s films?
Yeah, I would have been disappointed if you missed that one.
I mean,
All
people
right.
listen to hear Amanda not know anything about 80s films, but they expect me to have some knowledge.
All right, this next one's for you, Jack. Which villain made clones of Peter Parker during the Clone Saga? Was it A, Green Goblin, B, Dr. Octopus, C, the Lizard, or D, the Jackal?
That was the Jackal.
That is correct, Jack. You guys are all tied right
He
now.
was working for Norman Osborn.
Okay, very good.
All right. I'm on the board.
You're up. You're all on board.
Don't let him have a shutout.
Taylor, in Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, what model car was the Batmobile based on? Was it A, a Chevy Impala, B, a Ford Mustang, C, a Jaguar XJS, or D, a Pontiac Firebird?
It was the first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yep, that's right. It was a Chevy Impala. Very good, Taylor. All right.
Have you guys seen that Batmobile documentary, by the way? Just, I know this is an aside,
I haven't.
but like, it's
so
good. I cried. Yeah.
Get out of here, really? All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
What's
Maybe
it
the
on?
Superman one too. They're both on YouTube, but they're all the
Batmobiles. I mean,
yeah,
is
it
like
talks about like the 1966 and stuff like that. It talks about that guy who's just like the guy that made the 1966 Batmobile had to like do it in like 2 days or something crazy. They gave him a bunch of money. Like, can you make something like this? And he's like, I guess. And he's just like living the dream, just still driving that thing around. Just like, I'm the mechanic guy that put together the original Batmobile. It's so wholesome. The whole thing about the Batmobile is great. Like, and all of them talking about how they iterated, and it's well worth a watch.
I mean, they go through like Batman Returns and Batman Forever and stuff like that.
Yeah, all the way to I don't know if they get to Batman v Superman, but they even talk about the Tumbler as well. They go all the way,
cool.
At least to
I'll
the
check
Dark
that
Knight
out.
series.
Okay, Charlie. In the movie Scarface, Tony Montana, he's trying to pick up a girl on the beach. And so he goes, you want to have some blank with my friend and me? Is it A, fun, B, cigars, C, cocktails, or D, ice cream?
Cocktails.
Nope, it's ice cream.
What?
Yeah, you got to watch that again, Charlie.
I just lost 10 listeners.
You there, Jack?
I'm here. Fire away.
Jack. What team of teenage superheroes sparked the first Civil War? Was it A, the Champions, B, Young Avengers, C, New Warriors, or D, Power Pack?
It was the New Warriors who were shooting a reality show.
Yeah, it was like the real
Speedball.
world.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
And they were surprised because they actually found real supervillains.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Taylor. In Superman 3, what is Metropolis's nickname? Is it... Well, you can guess if you haven't seen the movie.
You know I didn't watch this movie. You did this on purpose.
I did not do this on purpose. You're supposed to be the DC movie expert.
No, 3 was replaced by Returns. We know that. We don't have to watch 3 and 4 anymore.
You still might get it right. Was it A, the Big Lemon Drop, B, the City That Never Shuts Down, C, the City of Tomorrow, or D, the Big Apricot?
The City of Tomorrow.
It was the Big Apricot.
Really?
I remember that. Yeah, Lana Lang said that. I thought it was kind of cool.
I thought it was the city
The Big
Tomorrow in the
Apricot.
comics. Isn't it, Taylor?
What?
Would you say, Jack?
Isn't Metropolis the city of tomorrow in the comics?
I feel like it is. So that's why, sorry my movie knowledge of a relatively obscure Superman movie isn't the same as the comic books.
Yeah, not in Superman 3, unfortunately. Let's see here, Charlie. No, it's funny. You said, Charlie, you could tie this up here. Charlie, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which test did Ferris miss out on? Was it A, medieval archaeology, B, European socialism, B, postmodern literature, or D, animal biology?
European socialism.
You tied it up, Charlie. I would have been
There could be-
disappointed if you didn't get that.
For all I care, I still don't have a right.
Would
Charlie,
you
did I ever
say
tell you that?
again? Go ahead, guys.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, Charlie, did I ever tell you that I won a it was academic team match in high school because of the amount of times I had heard the Laffer curve, like voodoo economics section.
That was amazing.
Just man, yeah. Anyway, continue, Joe.
I love that story.
All right, Jack, this one's for you. Peter
Good
Quill.
question, Jack.
Peter Quill once had a cybernetic, was it A, hand, B, brain, C, eye, or D, leg?
He had the cybernetic eye, I believe.
That is correct, Jack. And with that, you have taken a step into the lead. But it's far from over.
I'm sure.
Taylor. Actor William Hootkins played Lieutenant Eckhart in Batman. You remember him?
Yeah.
In the Tim Burton Batman?
Yeah.
He was also in Star Wars. Which character did he play? Was it A, Boss Nass? Was it B, Jack Porkins? Was it C, Dexter Jettster? Or was it D, the Sarlacc Pit?
He looks kind of like Porkins, so I'm gonna go with Porkins.
That is correct. He was Porkins.
Yeah,
And I did not know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that until just now. This is a fun fact that I love. But yeah, I can see that now.
All right. Charlie, in Die Hard, how much does Hans Gruber intend to steal? Is it A, 620 million? Is it B, 630 million? C, 640 million? Or D, 650 million?
I'm interested in the 640 million in bearer bonds locked in the
That is
vault.
correct, Charlie.
Man,
you have
that
seen
was
that movie multiple
tight.
times.
Uh,
We are all tied
That
up,
was
ladies
awesome.
and gentlemen.
It's a Christmas movie. I'll be watching it in a couple of weeks.
me too.
This is why these guys are the experts in the fields that they are. They are very good. Okay, Jack, you ready?
After that build-up, no.
Okay. The first superhero created in the Marvel Universe was A, the Human Torch, B, Captain America, C, Namor the Submariner, or D, Captain Marvel.
Ooh, that is tough. Because it's either the Submariner or the Human Torch. Because Marvel Comics #1 had the Human Torch like coming out of a wall that was melting. But I think the Submariner was in something else prior, not a Marvel Comics. I'm gonna go with
So,
I'll
4
go with
seconds.
even though I want to. It's one or the other. I'll go
So you go
Submariner.
You are
No, you
correct,
know what?
Jack. It was this.
Huh?
I said you were correct. You just got. He's like, you know what? I changed my mind. Now I'll give it to you. Submariner.
What was the comic he was in? Was it like Atlas Comics or something?
I forget. We went over that during one of our episodes too.
We did.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was comics. That sounds right.
All right.
Taylor, in Tim Burton's Batman, what is the name of the crime boss that Jack Napier works for? Is it A, Gus Grissom? Is it B, Virgil Grissom? Is it C, Carl Grissom? Is it D, Ivan Grissom?
Can you repeat it one more time? I'm trying to imagine
Is it A?
Jack Nicholson saying it.
Is A, Gus, B, Virgil, C, Carl, D, Ivan?
I'm gonna go Carl.
That is correct, Taylor.
Nice answer.
Yeah, I thought that was easy, actually.
I mean, the other names just I couldn't see them doing that in the '80s, like a weird name like that, especially because it's that guy from Scrooged, right? He plays that character as the boss of Jack Nicholson.
Well, he was
anyway.
in City Slickers.
Oh
He
yeah,
did
that
push
too.
up on stage at the Oscars.
Yeah, that's right. He did push-ups, and he lied about Marissa Tomei winning Best Supporting Actress.
That's right, for Michael and Vinny.
Yep. You got no rebuttal on that one. All right, we'll move on. All right, Charlie,
He deserves an Oscar anyway. For which
Right.
role? Which role, Taylor? Does Marissa Tomei deserve an Oscar for?
I mean, definitely her role as My Cousin Vinny is what she got the award for, right? But I mean, also Aunt May.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
We'll move on. Charlie, which of the...
She started a really good movie, but I can't remember the title. It was her and Christine Slater. I think just after that, about 3 years after that, and I remember it was exceptionally good, but memory-wise, I can't remember. She played a waitress in a diner, but yeah, she was exceptional in it. So anyway, pressure's on.
All right, Charlie, which of these 80s movies did Steven Spielberg direct? Was it A, Gremlins, B, Poltergeist, C, Always, or D, The Goonies?
Well, can read them out again.
A, Gremlins, B, Poltergeist, C,
Gremlins, Joe Dante.
C,
Poltergeist,
Always.
Tobe Hooper, or not, I think. It's Always, but I'm just trying to show you my reasoning.
He's trying to show why he knows the best. He's the best at 80s movies knowledge.
The last one was The Goonies.
The Goonies, yeah.
That's Richard Donner.
That's right.
So, yeah.
It was Richard Donner. Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, he produced the other ones, correct?
See, this just proves why. See, I'm going to write a book one day, and it's going to call Steven Spielberg is Not Very Good. He Sucks. The Untold Story. Because for years, I thought he did Gremlins. I thought he did Poltergeist. I thought he did The Goonies. He lied to us, or he manipulated us into thinking that he did. He's afraid to do movies. You know, he tries to do the best possible movies, but he's not very good. He's very good at Jaws. I'll give you that much. Because I know you love Jaws, Charlie.
Don't interview me.
Which one?
Always was a very good movie.
I never saw Always.
Romantic comedy, sort of, but it was pretty good.
I still think he's overrated. Jack, okay. Jack, who came up with the team? No, so you got that one, Charlie. So we're all tied up again. Awesome.
And Jack takes the lead again.
Probably.
I'm trying to
Jack,
keep
who
that
came
one.
up? Who came up with the team name Avengers? Was it A, Iron Man, B, Ant-Man, C, Captain America, or D, Wasp?
Oh, that's a good one. They were already the Avengers by the time Captain America joined.
The pressure.
Need some thinking music.
I know, I should have music.
Right now.
3 seconds. Come on, Jack. We're almost done with this show.
I'm not sure I'll go for the Wasp because she's the least obvious, I think.
That is correct, Jack. It is the Wasp.
Oh, on fire. On fire.
She was the leader, right, back then? She was a leader of the Avengers?
No, she was just like Giant Man's girlfriend.
Huh.
It was sort of like, Giant Man was the smart guy, and here's his, like, really shallow girlfriend along for the ride.
Oh, don't
So
tell
he's
that
like,
to Taylor.
we have to do this and get this in order. And he's like, let's go shopping. There's a sale.
Love it.
I'm not kidding. She was really a very, like, 1960s girly girl character.
It's funny. All right, let's move on to Taylor here. Taylor, I apologize. This one's kind of difficult, but I think you can do it if you really think. So take your time on this one. How many villains appear in Batman Begins? Was it A5, B7, C3, or D2?
Named like comic book villains. Like I feel like this is like every single member of the League of Assassins could technically be a villain. So like, are you?
I would say
okay,
major.
fine. I'll just go with. Okay, so there's Falcone. There's Scarecrow.
You're going in the right.
There.
You're going in the right direction. I'll say that much.
So Falcone, Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul. I mean, those are the main three villains of that movie because Scarecrow's working for Ra's. Falcone's just a Falcone. Other villains in that movie. I mean, there's Gotham as a villain, obviously, is the city. I'm just kidding. I'm busting your chops. Okay, I'm going to go. I mean, there's only. Help me. Yeah, I mean, and you could consider, I guess, what's his name, the bad cop, I guess a villain, but I wouldn't. So I'm going to go three villains.
The answer is 5. There was Scarecrow.
Okay, tell me the 5. Okay.
Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Carmine Falcone. Victor
Okay.
Zsasz. And
When was
Joe
Victor
Chill.
Zsasz? Joe Chill's not a villain. Joe Chill he's not a Batman villain. He's already dead before he becomes Batman. That doesn't count.
But he was a villain
Victor
in the
Zsasz.
movie.
Was he? Like, he was a guy that was in jail and he was like, I'm sorry I did this. And then he got shot by Falcone says hello. Fine. I'll take the loss, but I disagree. Also, when was Victor Zsasz?
Oh, Victor Zsasz was definitely in that movie. Yeah, but anyway.
What part? Tell me what part.
I can't tell you right now. I'm just too busy with these questions, okay? Let's get to Charlie. Sorry, Taylor. I tried. Charlie, how many Police Academy movies were in the 80s? Was it A3, B4, C5, or D6?
Oh. So, one was 1981. No, 1980. 2 was 82. 3 was 84. 4. There were. So the City Under Siege.
He likes these movies, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, Assignment Miami Beach. I know all the taglines to them, but I think you're gonna. How many? There were 7 in total. But I think you're catching me out because one of them was in the 90s. So I'm going to say, was one of the answers 6?
Yep.
6.
That's correct, Charlie. You got that one.
All right, Charlie.
All right, Jack. Who was the first Iron Patriot? Was it A. Norman Osborn, B. James Rhodes, C. Tony Stark, or D. Simon Williams?
The Iron Patriot was. I'm going to go with Osborne because I don't know if anybody else may have used the name, but that design was a Norman Osborn one.
That's correct. It was Norman Osborn.
Okay.
All right, Taylor.
Yeah.
Before he became Cyborg, Vic Stone was a football star for which college? Was it A. Gotham City University, B. Metropolis College, C. Gotham State University, or D. Smallville A&M?
I can't believe you have 2 Gothams in there because it's one of those 2. What was the first? Can you rename the 2 Gothams for me?
Gotham City University, Gotham State University.
Gotham State.
50-50.
I'm going to go Gotham State. Gotham State.
It was Gotham City.
God, this is so silly. Oh, okay. Because, like, was he even playing? Okay, that's fine. They cut all that out of the movie. Was Gotham State the one that they put into the Dark Knight Return? Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight
Rises. I think it was Gotham State. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Where Bane shows up and he's like, "Hello, my people."
We had to get some Bane in there.
Always trying to get Bane in there.
All right, Charlie, which actor directed Three Men and a Baby? Was it A. Tom Selleck, B. William Shatner, C. Gene Hackman, or D. Leonard Nimoy?
It was Leonard Nimoy.
That's correct, Charlie.
That's crazy.
Very good. Jack, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are not children of Magneto, but they are actually A. children of Professor Xavier, B. experiments by Hydra, C. creations of higher evolution, or D. Inhumans.
I'd say the high evolutionary.
Creations of high evolutionary.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's correct, Jack.
Jack doesn't drop the point.
No, he doesn't. Taylor,
Wow.
which of the following
Yeah.
Batman villains appears
Gentlemen,
in
I will
Batman?
be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Which of the following Batman villains appears in Batman v Superman? Is it A. Lady Shiva, B. Anarchy, C. KG Beast, or D. Killer Moth?
KG Beast. It was KG Beast.
That is correct, Taylor. Charlie, in Uncle Buck, what is the name of Buck's niece's Tia's sleazy boyfriend? Is it A. Spider, B. Gnat, C. Bug, or D. Fly?
Bug.
That is correct, Charlie.
I forgot the line now. It's like when she says his name is Bug. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I
it's the
forget
best.
it too.
It's the best use of a golf ball in a golf club in a film to cause bodily harm at the end.
Right.
When he
Jack's
hits
not
the goal.
here. No, I remember that. So Jack's not here. I guess we'll go to Taylor.
Sure.
He can have to
Taylor,
double.
Yeah, he'll double. Yeah. Taylor, in Aquaman, who was the first ruler of Atlantis? Was it A. Atlan, B. Orion, C. Namor, or D. Neptune?
Let's go with Atlan.
That's correct, Taylor.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna pull a Jack. I'll be right back.
Damn, it's just you, Charlie.
Okay. Right. Well, make it a long
All right.
question.
I will. According to Vizzini in The Princess Bride, what is the most famous of the classic blunders? Is it A, never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line? Is it
Yeah.
B, never get involved with an Asian land war? Is it C, never start a fight with Prince Humperdinck? Or is it D, never rob another man's rhubarb?
Right. So it's not B. It's not the final. It's not the last two. What were the first two again?
Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line, or never get involved with an Asian land war.
Never get involved. The Sicilian.
Oh, it was the Asian land war.
Oh.
Aw. Sorry,
That's what-
Charlie.
Jack's got two questions there, though.
What'd you say?
Jack's got two questions there.
He might. Jack.
What was the exact line with the Sicilian? I thought it was never bet against a Sicilian when death is involved. Something like
Yeah,
that.
that's one of them. Yeah,
Very close.
when death is on the line. But actually, apparently, it was never get involved in an Asian land war was the most famous of the classic blunders.
Really? Never get involved in a land war in Asia was more famous? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, Jack, who is the brother of Thanos? Who is the brother of Thanos? Is it A. Thane, B. Titan, C. Star Fox, or D. Annihilus?
Star Fox.
Do a barrel roll.
Very.
Weird emotion powers.
Did you know that, Taylor?
No, that's so weird to me. Because Star Fox
know,
to me is a
isn't
Nintendo
it?
character.
I
Yeah.
know, isn't it? I was like, no way is that who that is.
Well, they've kind of turned Star Fox into Marvel's ultimate creep. Because they used to have the thing like he dated around, but then it came out that like he was using his emotion manipulating powers to get with all these different super heroines. So now like all the ladies in the Marvel universe are like, get away from me, creep.
No, it's just
That's kind of like, I mean,
like Thanos is such a
purple
strong
man.
name, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, and this is my brother Star Fox. You know?
he'd
I
have
think
to be a
Sam
creep, you
Arrow
know?
or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, this last one is for Jack since he missed the other one. So Jack, what couple was married in the comics by Stan Lee? Was it A. Deadpool and Shaquilla? Was it B. Reed Richards and Sue Storm? C. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones? Or D. Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson?
Go on, Jack. You need this. You need this.
Because whatchamacallit, there was a joke that even carried over to movies where Stan Lee and Jack Kirby showed up and Nick Fury kicked them out because they weren't on the guest list.
Which one was that one for?
That was for the Reed and Sue.
Oh
Richards.
yeah, it was Fantastic Fours. Yeah.
Oh, in the movie? That's good.
Ooh.
I don't read Deadpool, so I didn't even know Deadpool was married. I can't see them putting.
Oh, yeah, there's that big cover. It had all these characters drawn in it for the Deadpool marriage. I remember that now.
All right, we're getting to the point we're actually almost over, guys.
I'm going to go with Stan Lee because Spider-Man was kind of forced to be married in the comics because Stan Lee put that into his comic strip. So I'm going to go with Spider-Man and Peter Parker and Mary Jane, even though it's probably wrong, but that's my rationale.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Okay.
It was Deadpool, right?
No, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
Really?
Mhm.
No.
All right.
You know, you guys all did very good in this, and I'll give Jack definitely dominated. But you guys were pretty close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody go into the final round.
Ooh. All right.
Okay.
All right, so this is how it works, is the first person that gets it wrong is out. All right? This is Star Wars planets. Star Wars planets in the
Okay.
episodes,
So,
all right?
wait. If Taylor and Charlie get it wrong, do I win by default? Because they're out.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you'll have to answer. Well,
So,
you'll have to answer.
so if you guess, though.
Yeah.
Is it multiple choice?
No, you have to guess the planet's name. This is what it is. There are a ton of planets in the Star Wars saga. So I'm going to go through the movies. And I'm going to start first with A New Hope. And since Jack came out on top, I'll give him the first pick. There were 3 planets in A New Hope. Name one of them.
Tatooine.
All right, that's it. So
Do you want me
Charlie
to name the other
came
one?
in. No. Charlie, you name a second planet.
Alderaan.
That's correct. Taylor, what's the third planet?
In New Hope, Yavin.
That's
The
correct.
moon of
Yavin
Yavin?
4.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Jack. Empire Strikes Back. There are 3 planets. Name the first one, or name one of them.
You get on the first one every time.
Would you say Hoth?
Hoth.
Okay. Charlie.
Dagobah.
You guys.
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry,
Taylor.
this is bad. Goes last.
This one's not so
The
bad.
third
Come on.
planet in Empire. Oh, Cloud City. The planet. Yeah, Cloud City.
That's good. Bespin.
Yeah, Vespa. Yeah, Bespin.
All right. 3 planets in Return of the Jedi. If you guys make it to Revenge of the Sith, good luck, because there's 9 planets in that one. But we'll go with Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi. All right, Jack.
Tatooine.
Yeah. Charlie.
Sorry, Taylor. You know I'm going to pick Endor.
Taylor.
Yeah. Dagobah. He goes back to Dagobah.
That's correct.
Nice.
I wasn't gonna include Coruscant or Bespin and Naboo because that was in the special editions.
Oh, with the celebrations. Yeah, you could have said all those, right?
All right, we're up to the Phantom Menace right now. All right, there were 3 planets in that. Jack.
Tatooine.
Oh boy. Charlie.
Naboo.
That's correct. Taylor.
Coruscant.
That's correct. You guys are doing pretty good so far. We got through 4 movies.
You guys are giving me this last one every time. It's I'm like, geez, okay, better hope.
For the pressure on
something.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones. There are 4 planets. Jack. You guys look twice,
Tatooine.
Jack. Yes.
Right.
Charlie.
Geonosis.
That is correct.
That's what I was gonna say. Coruscant.
That's correct. Actually, there's 5 in this one. Attack of the Clones, Jack.
Wait, attack? No, we just did the.
No, we're still doing it. I said there were 4, but there are actually 5 planets.
Oh,
You
we're
gotta say
gonna keep
something
going.
other than Tatooine. You gotta say something other than Tatooine, Jack.
They were at Naboo when.
That's correct. Charlie, there's one last planet.
It's the one where it's covered in water, where they meet Jango Fett.
That's nice, but what's the name of it?
No.
Oh, come on. It's like
There's no way you're gonna get it.
I have no
Wait,
idea.
can I try?
Go on.
If you get it, Taylor, I'll give you extra credit.
Is it Camino?
That's correct, Camino. So
That's a
that
cool
means you
good
get to
answer.
go first for the next one,
Great.
which is the hardest one. You're out. Go back to England, pal.
Kind.
All right. So in Revenge of the Sith, there are 9. So Taylor, name the first one.
Mustafar.
That's correct. Jack, name another one.
Coruscant.
That's correct. Taylor.
9, huh? They definitely go in these movies. They don't go back. Oh, Alderaan. He takes her back to Alderaan. No, he
Alderaan was
takes her back
blown up.
there. Not in
Oh,
Revenge
no,
of the
Alderaan
Sith.
wasn't blown up.
Or it
That's
was
right.
blown up.
He
Oh, no,
takes her
you're right.
home. He takes the baby home there.
That's correct, Taylor. Oh, I'm sorry. I do
Yeah.
apologize.
Wow. How dare you?
All right. Sorry about that. I was getting ahead of myself.
Mhm.
Jack.
Tatooine.
He's right.
Yeah. That's right. Taylor.
Kashyyyk.
Yes, good answer.
Oh, very good.
Good answer. Jack.
Felucia.
Holy crap, Jack. I didn't think anyone was going to get that.
Right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh
Treasure.
boy. I bet you. Wait, we already said. Did we already say Coruscant? We already said that. I just want to double check.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Because there's the whole fight at the end there.
This one's tough. Can I give him a hint?
No.
This is tough.
Okay.
If you know it, Jack, then you're probably going to win here because I
don't know
can't
the
think
name.
of because I know that there was the planet where they kill all the Jedi on different planets, so it's kind of
Right.
like
It's a little easier than that. All right. 3 seconds, Taylor.
I'll just
Yeah,
go
15
Naboo
minutes.
just for fun.
That's correct, Taylor.
Yeah.
All right, Jack. Come on, Jack.
Oh man. Because the planet I'm thinking was that map in Battlefront
Jack thought he
where
had it.
shot down.
Mhm.
I'm not going to give it to Charlie. I'm not going to give it to you.
No. I'm thinking.
All right. 3 seconds, McCarthy.
I'm gonna have to concede. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh.
All right. Well, one of them was Dagobah.
Really?
The
Dagobah?
Yoda. Remember Yoda ended up on Dagobah?
Oh,
at the
Yoda.
end?
But does he ever go
Oh.
to Dago? I didn't know he actually goes there though.
Thing landing.
Yeah, he does
I don't
land on
remember that.
Dagobah.
Oh.
Wait, did he?
Uh,
land? I remember taking off. I don't remember him landing too much.
I think he does, unless maybe they put that in an alternate scene. Maybe that was a deleted scene. Tapu was one of them.
Yes,
Katu.
That's where the
Utatu.
What
Oh,
was the one where Grievous was?
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I don't know. One of them is Kato Naomida. I don't know what the Salukami and Magito.
Oh.
But you know
those must have
what?
been those planets where they just randomly cut Jedi down.
Oh yeah, exactly. Good news, Taylor. You won.
you.
You came from behind and you won.
Just luck of the draw, really.
It was no you by you saying Naboo. That was very fortunate. So I'll give you
Yeah.
accolades. Is there anything you would like to say?
I just want to
that's right.
say, I think that everyone played a good game out there. You had me at the first half, not gonna lie, but you got to watch out. You got to keep it, keep it strong. But I think Jack really won this overall. I'm gonna be honest. He had the highest score in the trivia. I wouldn't even have been in the Star Wars portion of this if Joe just hadn't let me in. So I don't know, So Jack's definitely the winner in my heart.
Well, don't sell yourself short.
Got it.
Yeah, I
that
could give it to you.
last one was rough because they were all over the place, and the name was
Yeah, there
just
were a lot of
mentioned
them.
once or twice, if at all.
If at all,
Because-
really, yeah.
Because Musha was not mentioned, but I just knew that from Battlefront. And the same thing with Utapu. What was it? Joe, the one that starts with a U?
Yeah, Utapu.
Utapu. I only know those from Battlefront, but they were never named in the movie, so.
Speaking of Battlefront, it's been, I'd say, about 2 months since you guys have gotten squadrons. Have you guys played together yet?
No.
No. But they
What's
just
up with
released.
that?
They just released a patch this week.
With the
Well, not a
B-wing and
patch,
stuff, right?
I'd say an expansion. They gave a new map, which is supposed to be insane, and they did a lot of balancing on the ships.
Didn't they also release
Because-
the B-wing?
That's coming in December next month. But this one was all about balance because Taylor, I don't know if you've done it. If you're in an A-wing in a live person match, there's nothing that could stand up to it. It's too fast, and its recharge rates are the same as everything else. So it's a roll race starting ahead of the game with an A-wing, only in terms of power. So you can go faster than everybody, and you could shoot just as fast as everybody. So they rebalanced that, and they did some other tweaking. It should be interesting to see what they do with the TIE Defender, because that's also one of those ridiculous, overpowered ships. But I updated it, and I went in to play it for a little bit to see how it went, and I didn't get to try the new map. So, but it looks very cool with a lot of. It's in a shipyard. It looks like. So you're flying in and out of these huge construction structures.
It's the opening map of the game. It's the tutorial mission map. Yeah.
But they've made it bigger where there's actually capital ships like docked inside it.
Cool.
So you could be flying around the Nebula class frigate, and it's firing while it's docked. You're going in and out. It looks very wild. I just didn't get to play it yet.
Yeah, that's cool. I still haven't gotten it. I'm not going to get it.
Well, then on an off chance, I was in a X-Wing mood, so Steam has a sale going on where everything is like 40 to 70% off. So I downloaded the old X-Wing Alliance game, and somebody has upgraded all the graphics where they look almost up to snuff with Squadrons. The problem is you're playing an old program on a new computer. So everything is amped up. Like as soon as something fires at you, you're hit 3 or 4 times and before you can even react. So I probably won't be playing much Alliance, but Squadron's still there, Joe, and they are expanding it.
It's on sale.
Yeah, you said they wouldn't. You said they wouldn't.
It's on sale.
We'll see. All right, so we got like 9 minutes left. I guess what we'll do is we'll kind of go over something that we did in the past. It's called Who Did It Best? So let's start with Spider-Man. There were 3 Spider-Men. There was Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. So, Jack, who do you think was the best Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Charlie.
That's Tom Holland. It just captures what Peter Parker is. Yeah.
Taylor? I know what your answer is.
Are you asking who the best Spider-Man is, who the best Spider-Man and Peter Parker is, or who the best Peter Parker is?
That's a good question. I guess, yeah, the best overall mix of the two.
Okay. Well, then overall it's Tom Holland. But if I was going to pick just Spider-Man, I think that Andrew Garfield was the best.
Really?
When he the very beginning of that, I think it's the second movie, when he's just like thwipping up like that guy on the wall and joking around and saying like, it just felt like the little bit older Spider-Man that was more in the just the way he quipped around. He was a bad Peter Parker because he was too cool, but I think he was a really good Spider-Man. Yeah,
no, I mean, I'll agree with you guys. I like Tom Holland, but my issue, like I think most of you guys will agree, he's just too tied to Iron Man. I just wish he was his own superhero. But he balances the role a lot better than the other two, because he kind of shows as like the little, not too confident high school kid, but when he puts on the mask, he's a little more confident, a little more jokey and all that stuff. He gets that right. So I'll give him that. But I just wish that they would just get rid of Iron Man. Well, they did, but I think he was better off Spider-Man as a character without any influence from the MCU. That's just how I feel.
Still can't believe he gave the glasses to Mysterio.
Excuse me? Oh, he gave the glasses. Yeah, what a jerk.
I mean, he really had him. You know, if Jake Gyllenhaal asked me for those cool glasses and he seemed so cool like that, I probably would have given him glasses too if I was, 16, 17. Like, it's a lot of pressure for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, he went through.
He's
a
a friendly
lot.
neighborhood
He
Spider-Man still. You know.
Yeah.
What was he? He was this. Was he the Spider Monkey? I forget what they called him.
The Night Monkey.
The Night Monkey. Yeah.
So good too.
The pressure. Incredible Hulk. You have Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and Mark Ruffalo. Taylor.
If we were strictly talking about Avengers 1, I would say Mark Ruffalo, but we obviously aren't. So I think Ed Norton did a really good job. The movie was mediocre, but I really think that he balanced. He had the look of Bruce Banner, and he balanced like that, just like the Hulk that is a madness that you can't stop, kind of.
Blown away. Didn't expect that to come out of your mouth. And I'm not even going to say anything because you spoke for me. Charlie.
Well, I was going to say I can't have Bill Bixby, can I?
No, he was on TV.
Also, his name was
sucked,
David
though.
Banner, so
He sucked. That wasn't Bruce Banner at all. I didn't like that.
you can say Lou Ferrigno though.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that because that's my Hulk.
All right. The UK.
He also voiced
has-
the Hulk, right? Didn't he voice the Hulk in
Yeah, but we're talking.
Well,
I guess we are talking about the Incredible Hulk. You're right.
in the
I didn't
movies
say-
though? In the Incredible Hulk movie, he voiced Lou Ferrigno voiced the Hulk, I think, in that or something like that, or maybe in Avengers 1.
No. He was. Yeah. You're right. No, I think he was in the Incredible Hulk. He voiced it.
And he was in it too, as like the security guard. Remember, he was like,
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
over
Yeah.
there.
Jack. What say you, Jack McCarthy?
I as well. I think Ed Norton makes the best Bruce Banner. However, I don't think that version of Bruce Banner would fit in with the Avengers. Because I think
He
Ed
might.
Norton's Bruce Banner would have told. No, I think he would have told Tony Stark where to go right off the bat. He isn't as friendly as Mark Ruffalo. But because Ed Norton's movie fell apart in the last third, I'm going to go with Ruffalo.
Okay.
All
right, we'll move on to.
Up until they introduced him going to meet Mr. Blue, who was the guy who eventually became the leader.
The leader, yeah. He gets the thing in his head, and he's like,
You know, but the
Yeah.
whole bit with the Abomination, I thought it was very good up until after the part in the college when he's fighting the army,
Yeah.
and we got the super soldier serum like in action for the first time. That was extremely cool.
That
But
was.
after that whole bit with Nick Nolte and the Killer Poodles, no, that was the end of it for me. So
Forgot
I
about the
think
Killer Poodles.
remember Nick Nolte
Nick Nol-
was.
No,
that was
That was
in
different. That was a
Hulk.
different.
Was it
Yeah,
different?
that was
one?
Yeah,
Eric-
Nick Nolte being the whole idea of being his dad was the Eric Bana
Oh, that's
version.
right.
Nick Nolte
You see,
being his
they're
dad, where
great.
he was like an electric monster.
They both
Those are
were
weird.
like so bad that it lost. That's right. Ed Norton was that terrible take on the Abomination.
Nick Nolte
So-
was the absorbing man in that movie.
Is that what he was? Really?
Hmm.
He was supposed to be, but
I need to
then he-
rewatch that really old. That wasn't it. The coolest part about that movie, because Eric Bana, who was it was the director that did Mission Impossible 2. It was
Ang
the
Lee.
director that did
Ang Lee.
Yeah, Ang
Ang
Lee,
Lee.
and he did a really cool. He tried a really cool comic book thing with the movie, which I appreciated from like a visual standpoint. He did like the panels
Mhm.
in that movie, but Hulk was so bubbly. He was like this, like he was like just the CG was like Shrek. It was just wasn't there yet, and he kept getting bigger and bigger the angrier he got in like a goofy way. Remember that too.
Well, that was okay, but I think the problem with it was that it veered way off of his origin. You know, it just didn't seem like the Hulk from the comics.
Yeah.
But it was a nice.
Although the
attempt
opening
anyway.
was cool, where it was just him doing the gamma radiation test and like him getting infected. Like it kind of showed that in the credits. I thought that was neat. I mean, Ang Lee did a pretty cool job of it. It just the story wasn't what we wanted it to be, especially with the ending with Nick Nolte. You're just like, this doesn't make any sense. But I thought that like there was a lot of interesting takes. Just bad movie.
Yeah, but the Abomination bit, I didn't like the character design on the Abomination at all. I thought it was ridiculous. So I'm going with Ruffalo.
Okay. Quicksilver.
Overall, work.
Quicksilver, there was Aaron Taylor Johnson in Ultron, and there was Evan Peters in X-Men. Charlie.
Oh, I can't remember the name where you just read it out, but the X-Men Quicksilver for me every time. Every time.
Taylor.
Same, although the costume was pretty like more accurate, right, in the Avengers movie. But I think that just the X-Men one was just we all love that you know, just like Sonic the Hedgehog did it too. That whole like fast moving slow motion thing.
And you got Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics, and he does it all to that.
That's true too. Perfect.
In a bottle, right?
And Jack.
I'm going with the X-Men version.
I kind of like the Ultron version just because I thought the costume was a little bit more accurate. And I also feel like he was a little too much like a kid in the X-Men movies. Just realize, guys, we're going over our time right now. We might be called at any minute. So, I don't know if we should do view. I have a listener email, but I'm not going to do it because we're going to get called pretty soon to end the show. Batman. We got Adam West. We got Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck. Jack.
Will Arquette.
No, I don't want
Arnett.
That's animated.
Arnett.
No.
Yeah.
He's Will Arquette, the unknown Arquette.
Yeah, that's what you get for being smart.
No, I'm serious. I think Lego Batman is completely underappreciated.
I'm
But
with you there.
out of your list,
good.
I know. You want disagreeable, Joe? Clooney. There you go.
Wow.
All right.
You know you don't mean that.
Taylor. I know you're going to say Taylor.
I mean, I do like Batfleck a lot, but you know, it's always going to be Keaton in my heart, so I'll have to go Keaton.
Vote with your heart.
I vote with my heart.
Very good. Charlie.
24/7, Keaton, every single time. He is Batman. He is Bruce Wayne, and he is Batman. And I know I've listened to your podcast many, many times where this comes up, and I'm like, and I know that that's hard for Taylor to say that you know, Ben Affleck and Val Kilmer and all the ones. I think I know what Joe's going to say. It's going to be Val Kilmer.
No. I love watching Keaton as Batman. You know, I think he does a good job. I think they're all fairly pretty good, except for Clooney. He kind of just phoned it in. Well, not
He even
that
admitted it recently.
He did, yeah.
He came out and admitted that he feels bad about that movie.
He's always said that, and I don't blame him for the failure of that movie. That movie just sucked. But they're all good in their own right. You know, Ben Affleck, his version was kind of the Batman that we always wanted to see. But I still have a problem just because he's too recognizable as Ben Affleck. But I think they all did a pretty good job. But if I had to watch a movie, I would probably want to watch Michael Keaton. I can't wait for him to come back as Batman. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
excited about that.
All right, since we're dealing with...
Sorry.
What'd you say, Jack?
I would also go with Bale, but I think he overdid it on the gravelly voice.
That's true. He did.
It was just overdone.
But I love that Dark Knight movie. That's probably the best one out there.
That is awesome.
All right, since we
I
got
prefer Batman Begins.
not me. I don't like the Scarecrow. Not a fan of that character. You guys, let me know if you see any signs from WDWNT about us going off the air. I have you guys on camera, but I'm looking at Slack. I haven't seen anything yet.
We're ready when you are.
All right, a voice from the beyond. All right, so we are done. And I guess that's episode 44 for us. And thanks, Charlie, for coming on. And thanks, Taylor and Jack, for being here as always.
Always a pleasure, Charlie.
Thank you.
And take it away, WDWNT.
And away we go.
You're watching WDWNT's 65-hour broadcast to benefit the cast member Pantry. Please consider donating at pantry.wdwnt.com. All proceeds will go to the cast member